businesses actually operate. And I like to say this: get Dukas to operate like supermarkets. Because how are these big businesses actually growing? They're actually using data to make what we call informed business decisions, data-driven decisions.
I was speaking to my friend the other day, who's the CTO or CIO at Naivas. And he was telling me something quite interesting that they're doing today. He told me, Francis Ngari, I hope you're hearing me. This is a call out to you. He was telling me something quite interesting, that today you will find in certain Naivas stores things that will not be in another Naivas store. So they're using data to basically say, okay, there are certain products that will never be bought at the Naivas Kiambu Road store.
Yes.
But there are some that are super fast moving in downtown Naivas.
Yes.
So is that what you are doing to empower the small Dukas?
Yes. And let me break it down a bit. Ali, we live in a world of AI. Okay?
Artificial
intelligence, for that matter. Now, what other bookkeeping solutions right now are doing, they give you reports. So where you go and download a report, and then you as the business owner needs to think of what to do.
Okay.
We don't want that.
What do you do? What does Uza point to?
So exactly the same example that you've actually used about Naivas. They have the capacity. They have the human capital. The best people in terms of financial analysis, business analysis,
correct,
predictive analysis, because those are the things you're talking about, okay? But the business owner cannot afford that talent, okay? So we are trying to tell them, this product is not fast moving, invest more in this. But what are we doing? We are picking that data, using AI tools and giving them insights. Because if they just download the reports, they might not have the knowledge that these big businesses have. I'm sure, as you said, is a CIO. So how will a small business who's probably doing $10
can't
a
afford
day,
a CIO.
can't afford. So what are we doing? We are giving them the same privilege that Naivas is enjoying, but through AI. So giving them insights, telling them which is the fastest moving product, which is the slowest moving product. If it's a weekend, let's say, for example, let's say you're a liquor shop, invest more in this product and not this product. Instead of buying water, probably invest more in this particular product.
So, Abraham, let me just tell you this. You're not doing bookkeeping for these guys.
Yes.
You are a CIO as a service.
I love that. I mentioned to you once, I learned that Starbucks is a financial system. It doesn't sell coffee.
Absolutely, it is.
So that's the thing. You can call us the CIO for SMEs, but in other words, I would want us to be the financial system.
I love this conversation,
for SMEs.
So, how long have you been doing this?
Okay. Wow, interesting. I saw some headlines in the newspapers, I think 2-3 weeks ago.
Yes.
Saying the school project that morphed into a budding startup.
Yes.
So I started this way back when I was in Strathmore University. That's where I did my undergraduate studies.
This was a school project?
This was a school project, my end of year project. You know the way you involve yourself? I did Bachelor in Business Information Technology, which is a combination
BBIT.
BBIT, which is a combination of business and IT. And of course, at the end of the year, just as any other undergraduate program, you need to do a project. So I was very passionate about, understanding how businesses operate. Of course, if I take a few steps back, you'll understand that I started the journey in fintech. Maybe when I was in third year, I was doing quality assurance for banks. And so I started learning a few things about how banks operate and all that. And so I decided to do this as my school project. And as I was doing the research, I was actually more focused on big businesses. The big manufacturers, big distributors. How can they leverage on data to actually know their route to market strategy?
Okay.
And so I did this. I did it for manufacturers, distributors, and I understood, okay, an MD of a manufacturing company can actually sit somewhere but see everything that is actually happening in terms of distribution. And usually say in distribution, there's primary and secondary. Primary is the people you've actually, the van reps that you actually have. But secondary is actually people who distribute on your behalf. And so you are like, we've built a mobile application that people in the market can actually use to sell and to monitor the inventory. And an MD sitting somewhere and they're able to see. But for us to convert one ticket, especially because I was young and I was still in school, it used to take us, the turnaround time was between 6 months to 1 year, just to close one contract.
That sales cycle that long?
Yes. Huge turnaround time. So I was like, this same solution can actually be of more help to actually
smaller enterprise.
People who can make a decision very impromptu. And now I did a study now with SMEs. I started with the informal sector, the Dukas owners, the kiosks, and Ali. You know, at times they usually say this kwa ground vitu ni different. So that's the experience that I actually got, because I was trying to do this with Dukas owners and stuff. Now for Dukas owners, you try and go and give them an app. Remember, my biggest competitor is the hardcover book that people are actually using. So we try and tell them we need to move from this book to a digital platform. Now, they are in FMCG, of course, because now I started trying to do it fast with FMCG.
Yes.
How many SKUs or products do these businesses have?
I'm sure you're about to tell me. About a kiosk on
close
average.
To 3,000, 5,000. I'm telling you.
What do you mean?
Unga, for example. Let's talk about Unga. How many brands are there?
One kiosk has 3,000 SKUs.
I'm telling you.
How do they keep up with?
They don't. And let me tell you the worst thing. And as I said, I'm a bit controversial. Yeah? Now with the rise of the last mile distribution.
Don't worry, controversy. You're at home here with controversy.
Yes.
So
with last mile distribution, it's even worse because people have targets and huge targets for that matter. So people just want to come, drop goods,
stuff, so that they can report that they have
They can report. And they even extend it on credit. You as a business owner, without any insights, you're just taking things. Every single day, companies are coming up with new items.
Products.
Whether it's consumables, whether it's ask your friend in Naivas how many SKUs they have. Because that's the same catalog that is being offered.
I think there's like 30,000.
Yes. So that's the same thing that is now being offered also to the kiosk and Dukas. So we try this. So of course you start by trying to get that entire catalog in a system. Trying to train them. And it's not just about the system, even bookkeeping, because they don't understand this stuff. You want to talk to them about inventory, sales. So I talked to you about the turnaround time for big businesses.
Yes.
For Dukas owners, it will take even close to 3 weeks just to onboard one particular matter.